All right, we're here as the Lost Rider Podcast. Good morning and welcome to this weekend's edition of News from the Camp House, listening post to the Texas Sportsman Association. This is Herman Brune, and this weekend's edition is also brought to us by Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club for folks who don't have a country club. All right, tell you what, we've got a special guest with us today. He is with the Texas Brigades. We've talked about Texas Brigades on here before. Now, he's your new president, right?
Yes, sir.
Over
in January.
All right, this is Cole Payne. He is the new president of the Texas Brigades. Those are the summer youth camps that are all about conservation, and they're academic as well as, doing stuff. They go out and the kids have a good time, but they're not just jumping on trampolines. They're out there learning about conservation. All right, Cole, I can sit here and talk about it. I need you to talk about it. First off, I know a little bit about how you got to this position, but explain it to my listeners how you started out in the brigades and got to where you're at now.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for having me today. I was very fortunate when I was 15 years old in 2010 to go to the North Texas Buckskin Brigade as a cadet. And that's our youth that we target as a program. And so I went and participated in the program that year, earned my way back as what we call an assistant leader the next year, got a college scholarship, and then just fell in love with the program from there. I ended up working for Texas Brigades for 4 summers all through college, working in there as their logistics and coordination specialist, helping run the behind the scenes of camp, and got to meet a lot of really good, influential people in this wildlife world that helped me a lot. I was in the graduate program of brigades called WILD, which stands for Wildlife Intensive Leadership Development, and got to chase things all over the state while I was at Texas A&M and go speak to state legislators about water rights and go study desert bighorn sheep and alpine. And it just opened so many doors for me that when I graduated from A&M, I became a volunteer with the program. I've been a volunteer for years, and then joined the board of directors about 2 years ago. And served as the program committee chair. And then in December, at our board meeting, was elected president of the board of directors. So I took over in January, and I'll be in that position for 2 years, and we'll see what we can make happen.
All right. What is your degree?
So I got a degree from A&M in wildlife and fisheries sciences. I was going to be a game warden until Dr. Jim Cathy told me that I'd have to work every weekend during hunting season. And so I audibled after that. I left A&M and went to Texas Tech and got a law degree with an emphasis in water law. And so now I'm a practicing attorney in San Antonio, representing landowners, mostly doing renewable energy lease negotiations for landowners, as well as conservation easements, oil and gas leases, all of those type things. Still being able to represent the same landowners that I was working with when I was a wildlife major at A&M. So full circle moment there for sure.
All right. Okay. The brigades. All right. And which camp did you start at?
I first went to the North Texas Buckskin Brigade back when it was at the Stasny's Cook Ranch in Albany. Okay. And then I went to Bass Brigade after that. I've now been to all of them except our Coastal Brigade, which Derek York, the head of the Hunt Fish Podcast Summit, helped start. But I've now been to 33, 34 camps and try to go to at least one every year.
All right. What do you hope? You just said that see what you can gain, see what you can build over here. What's your plans?
Well, we've had a lot of really good people in place for a long time. We're now in our 33rd year of existence. Brigades was started in 1993 by Dale Rollins. And when you have someone like Dale Rollins start the program and all of the people that have followed him in leadership roles, from Helen Holdsworth to Natalie Wolf, now we have Allie Biedenharn Alcorn as our executive director. All of the people that have come before me on the board of directors really set us up in a good position But right now we've got a lot of moving parts. We've got a growing organization where we have added new camps. We just started a North Dakota Waterfowl Brigade last year, expanding out of the state. So that's a big piece. As well as right now, there's a lot of moving pieces for summer camps in Texas, both on the legal side of things, as well as just trying to get kids in the outdoors. You would think that kids being outdoors chasing animals would be an easy thing to market and raise money for, but it is tough sometimes. And so we're working around the clock to promote our program, bring kids in, grow the program, raise money. And so we're in a period of rapid growth right now, and I hope to continue that, but also make sure that we've got a good foundation to fill our camps, and make sure that we're spreading the message that we're trying to create conservation leaders in every community, and we've got to make sure that we are staying true to that mission while also growing the program.
All right, in growing the program, you're looking for more venues. Or you just trying to, well, like you said, you're trying to make sure you fill the camps you have, but then you're looking for more venues and ultimately incorporate and get more kids involved.
Yeah, so we're very fortunate right now. We have 9 summer camps in Texas. Each of our camps are focused on a different wildlife species. We've got 2 on quail, 2 on deer, inland fisheries, coastal fisheries, 2 on ranch management, and 1 on waterfowl. And we're very fortunate to have great partners, being our ranches that we host these facilities on. One of them being the Pintail Hunting Club, where we're at right now, where we host our waterfowl brigade. We're very fortunate to have those ranches host us. I think the biggest thing right now is making sure that we can continue to bring good quality kids in and fill those camps to their brim. Recruitment is a big thing for us, and just trying to make sure that we continue to bring 200 plus applicants in every year to our summer camp programs, and continue to grow that base of our existing cadets who then grow up and take over for us.
All right. Where do you get these kids? I mean, this was, I want to say, was Rollins part of the Texas Wildlife Association? This was kind of an offshoot and then became its own 501c?
Yeah, so in 1993, Dr. Dale Rollins was working for AgriLife Extension as a quail biologist up in the Rolling Plains region. And so between AgriLife Extension, Texas Wildlife Association, and others, Brigades was founded. And so we've grown from that. We get kids from all over the state. Primarily when you think of agricultural or wildlife-minded kids, you're thinking rural Texas, but those kids come from every walk of life these days, whether it be inner city Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, or your small towns. For a long time, a lot of our recruitment efforts, we had a lot of kids come out of places like Washington County, and we still do because that's where all of our volunteers were. We had a lot, Dr. Bill Eichenhorst helped us out there, and so many people just helped us grow. And as we continue to expand and, we can take 200, 250 kids every year, we're looking for them in every crack and crevice in Texas. And they don't have to be from agricultural backgrounds. They might not go into the wildlife field. They may become an attorney. My sister, who grew up in the program, is now a doctor of audiology. Doesn't really do much with wildlife on her day job, but when she gets off work, she goes fly fishing or chases mountain lions in the mountains of Idaho. So you never know where these kids are going to go. We often use a quote at camp. We call them silver bullets, that you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can never count the apples in a seed. And you never know who these kids are going to be and where they're going to be headed.
Right. Okay. Yes. I have had the pleasure of being at both the waterfowl camp and the coastal camp, and getting to interact with these young folks. And it's a hoot. It's amazing. I have always been just gratified that it's so much fun. A bunch of bright-eyed, smart kids, and it's like you said, from every walk of society. And had a young man one time and said he wanted to study waterfowl and he wanted to make a career out of it. And we asked him where he was going to college, and he said Alpine. And we had to get him to connect the dots. How do you study waterfowl in Alpine? And he sat right there and did it. I wished I could remember how he did it, but he sat right there and did it, young man in high school. So, yes, it's an outstanding program. Okay, do you have any idea of expanding venues?
As far as venues go, when I went in 2010 to my very first Texas Brigades camp, we only had 4 camps as an organization. It was the 2 Bobwhite camps. Maybe we had 5, the 2 Buckskin camps, and we had Bass Brigade. And since 2010, we've grown so much. We've added Fowl Brigade. We've added 2 Ranch Brigades. We've added Coastal Brigade. This past year, 2025, we started the North Dakota Waterfowl Brigade to expand up that flyway and link the northern part of the United States to where we're at in Texas. And so right now our focus has been starting that North Dakota camp as a new venue, getting people up there, while also building that foundation here in Texas. And right now I don't know that we've got hard plans on starting any new camps, but never say never. We don't know what the future will bring, but the big focus is making sure that the ones that are in place are full and that we can just keep the ball rolling.
Okay, all right. I tell you what, let's take a break. Let's thank our sponsors that get us on here every Saturday. We'll be right back.